Welcome to Reunite with Self podcast. I'm your host, Ruken. Here, we will be discovering and unraveling what is truly holding you back. We will put the puzzle together and give you clarity on how and what you can do to create massive shifts in your life so you start creating the life you always envisioned for yourself. No more waiting. Whether it is liberating from dysfunctional family patterns or parenting tools and tips that actually make the difference, we will be diving into the truth and core of things that are simple and yet which no one talks about. I will be sharing with you all the things that would have changed my life massively if I heard any one of these episodes. A new world is awakening, and true bliss, harmony, and peace is possible on this earth. And my mission is to bring you closer to that one step at a time. In this safe space, I will hold your hand and give you courage and certainty that you can shift anything and everything in your life. It is time we break the pattern. Whether you want to be the parent you never had or make a shift in your life so you don't play small any longer, you will find the support and guidance in this space. My intention is for you to find your own answers within yourself while you listen to this podcast, so you feel the bliss of reuniting with your true essence, with self, with so much love and compassion and courage. From my heart to yours, let's keep it rocking. My gorgeous listener, welcome to another episode on Reunite with Self podcast. This is your host, Ruken. I am very excited for today's episode. This is a long time coming. This was an episode that I really wanted to create, but I wanted to work through many things with you before I recorded this very special episode. This episode, we're going to talk about what you need to do to actually start your self-actualization process if there is any narcissistic tendency in your family. So you have realized that there is a narcissistic tendency in any family members around you, and you have created the clarity, and it's like a line in the sand moment. Life will never be the same again. And then you have to start, of course, acting very differently in your life. You have to create massive change in your life. And so we're going to talk about this, like actually what to do in practice to start your self-actualization process. I've created like a 9-step process for you today that we're going to walk through together. This is kind of like a mastermind episode for me because this is the kind of information that I've gathered after all of the things that I've been through. And I can tell you, like, what I will share with you today is the thing that you need for sure without negotiation. The things that you have to do, you can, of course, change them according to your story. It doesn't have to be specifically this, but you have to take into consideration all of the things that I talk to you in here for sure. So these are my non-negotiable, the things that I would tell you, that I would suggest you if I were working one-on-one with you, or we were working on like a workshop setting, in a group setting or something, which I hope we will do. If not 2024, 2025, for sure, I will create different things to work with you for sure. But these are the things that I would focus on for sure. If I were to support you on your self-actualization journey. These are the things that I have implemented in my life and have seen massive, massive shift and change and difference in my life. It was not easy, but these were the things that I woke up to the truth of, like, the truth to the fact that I have to do these things. Otherwise, my life will never be anything similar to what I envision, like what my nature is. I would never be able to improve my life or start the self-actualization process. And so let's begin. So in this situation, you have realized that there is narcissistic tendency in any parent, both parents, in a sibling, all siblings. And then, of course, it like you have it in your relatives and your close circle for sure. Like it's for sure inevitable. But I'm talking about the family that you come from. You see that there is narcissism, and then you realize there is like narcissistic tendencies in your friendships, in your romantic relationships, in your past romantic relationships, in your coworkers, with your boss, with your employees, or whatever the situation is. So these are the things that you have to start doing today to see change in your life. These are the things that I have seen many, many successful people realize, like discover that they have to apply, and they apply it. But these are the things that people don't necessarily talk about with this openness. And I have come across some really wonderful, like successful women exploring all of this, which is like the first one is healthy boundaries. They touch upon the healthy boundaries a little bit with some family members. Maybe they call it like some family members that don't get it, that are a little negative or whatever. They never refer to them as narcissism, which is a result of all the things that I talk about on the podcast. Like people don't create the clarity for themselves because of the shame society or what the norm is. Like you're not allowed to say things like this for your family, for your parents, blah, blah, blah. And it's a struggle for them. But I've told you this a couple of times on previous episodes. Like I have witnessed that a lot of successful men and women that I have known in my life that are really like they're truly in their self-actualization journey. And their relationship with their families might be very different today. But when they were beginning, it was a whole different story. And they never tell you like that. But I discovered this through my conversations with them, or even like the people that I get trained by. Sometimes they have usually almost zero contact with their families in the first couple of years of their self-actualization process. This is something that they just apply, knowing that this is the truth. Like in order to move forward, they have to do this. But they never tell you this in a way that if you realize there is these tendencies in your family which kept you so small for your entire life, the only way forward is for you to minimize, like truly, truly minimize a lot of contact with a lot of people in your life for especially the first couple of years of your journey, of when you're beginning the journey. So when you make the clarity and you know like life will never be the same again, there are things that you have to start applying, you realize how much this tendency of narcissism coming from these people have actually like how much influence they actually have on you. You realize this. Like this is huge. Like, and they will continue doing it, and it's not going to stop them. How much it affects you is actually very clear. It's very visible if you look at it from perspective of God or whatever. Like when you look from the sky downwards to your life, like it's truly obvious, knowing your own nature, like what was the past, what were the patterns, what they were saying, how they were doing, like with subtitles, like all of that stuff. If you are truly, truly honest with yourself, the influence of that, the effect of that on your life is massive. Like it is the thing that's holding you back. It's not your own limiting beliefs. The voice inside your head is not your voice. It's someone else's. And it's time to like stop that, let that go, realize it's not yours, and move forward no matter what. But in order for this, there are things that you have to start applying. And let's begin. The first one is healthy boundaries. And the healthy boundaries is like actual physical boundary, which means that you have to understand with the narcissistic tendency people, and even people around them that are influenced by them maybe over decades, that you have to maybe stop seeing them for a while, for a long while, which is not comfortable or which is not familiar to you. And you don't have to do this in a way that attracts the attention of the narcissist. You know, we talk about the gray rock, gray stone effect, whatever. Like, you do things that you're not taking their attention, you're not grabbing their attention. So, because the more you grab their attention, the more they're going to be aggressive and they're going to do things for sure. It doesn't have to seem aggressive, by the way, but they will do things. Their focus will be on you. They're going to be like, wow, like they're onto something. They're going to create the shift. So I have to do something. This is very subconscious, but this is every single time. So every single time this is going to be like this. So you have to come to terms that this is what they have been doing. They know what it causes, and they will keep on doing no matter what. And they will never feel the sorriness that you have, the hurt that you have for your own life. It's not like no matter what, they will continue. Like, no matter how much you suffer, they will continue. And they might be someone that really loves you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested in this, as you know. Like, if you've been listening to the podcast, I don't even have to repeat this, but I'm just telling you these so that you don't run away from the truth, that you don't abandon yourself and you don't minimize anything. Because the effect, the influence on you is the thing that keeps you small, that keeps you waiting, that keeps you in the hope mode, that keeps you self-sabotage, that keeps you maybe, as in my story, I was taking massive action, but I was not I was not doing the things in a way that I would get the results. Like, I know myself, the way that I would move, the way that I would make the decisions would have been completely different. Completely different. I would feel so much centered and myself that whatever would come my way, I would have handled it very differently. I would be more calm. I would have, let's say, negotiate better with the people around me. I wouldn't just jump onto things and say yes to things that were not my thing. I would have done things very differently. I wouldn't have hidden. I would not hide or play small. I would not paddle against the current. I would do things that would actually work one by one. So in order for you to avoid all the things that I have wasted, like a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of years, a lot of time, I don't want you to waste that much of a time. Like, my near-death experience shifted my life, made me see things in a much more simpler way. And I have had experiences right after that, which I saw things so clearly, what the F is happening? If I let this happen, I can suffer, almost die, but the narcissism will continue. It's not going to stop, no matter what the situation is. And it's not going to look that way. It's going to look as if these people really love that they want the best for you. This is the trickster part of it. So I want you to be confident and I want you to believe in your heart, the goodness of your heart, and say no more waiting. I'm going to start my journey, my true journey, my self-actualization. It's going to require a lot of energy and effort from me, a lot of pushing through this discomfort. But for that, I need my own energy, and my own energy is enough for me. My own energy is the resource that I need to move through everything. And for that, I should not be exposed to any BS, even if it is a tone of voice of something familiar that reminds you of your, reminds your body, your nervous system, your whatever parts of your brain that you remember from your childhood. Not even that you remember, you remember it subconsciously. So you have to understand the effect of it is huge. So you don't even need to go into arguments. They can the story might be completely different than what was in the past, but the effect is massive. So I suggest, I'm just going to be clear for the first time maybe on the episode, on the podcast. Healthy boundaries might seem that you don't see the people in your family that have narcissistic tendency at all for a couple of years, 1 or 2 years. This is like what I suggest. Like a year and a half is something that is important. So you can, of course, change all of this. Like you listen to your heart, but this is something that I have figured out after decades of suffering. So this healthy boundary will help you in so many ways. And I'm going to talk about this in all the steps that we're going to talk about here. There will be a little bit of repetition, but in the repetition, I will tell you the nuances of what the journey entails for the first couple of years of your journey. And this healthy boundary also, of course, includes you not telling anyone what you are up to, what excites you, what your desires are, what your fears are, what you are creating, what you're stepping into, what kind of decisions you have made, what you're working towards, what your goals are. None of it. Not even the fact that you're going to start having a 15 minutes morning ritual from now on. Not even that in a chit chat. Like you're not going to share anything that you're up to. This is very, very, very important. If you can only share this stuff with people that see you from your new life, like new vibration, new frequency. If they are people from your past that has any resemblance of that narcissistic tendency, or I'm going to go deeper into this. Like they don't even need to have any narcissistic tendency for you not to share anything with them of your journey, of what you're up to. This is the most important secret that I will give you. And you hear this in different ways from a lot of people that have self-actualized. They're really shining bright. They would share this with you in different ways, but not maybe this clearly. All right, let's go to the second thing. I don't want to say second step because you have to be applying all of this all at the same time, all the time, every day. And being very compassionate with yourself. You can make mistakes along the way, but just because you have created this clarity now, you can always go back and just continue on your path. The second very important thing is that you need to be able to say no, listening to your intuition. You have to be so self-trusting from now on that when a relative wants to see you, when they're inviting you to something, when a parent is inviting you somewhere, when an old friend is inviting you somewhere, when someone you just met is inviting you somewhere. I'm saying inviting, it can be any kind of invitation. You have to say no, like it can be hiring someone, it can be anything. You have to be so self-trusting now that you don't even need long explanations to prove it even to yourself why you're saying no. If it just feels icky, if your body's having some kind of resistance, if it doesn't feel like you are grabbed towards it, this can be a sign that you can see, like if there is any small kind of icky resistance, not really wanting, doubting, anything like that, you have to just stop and know that you can just say no and you're safe. You're still loved, lovable, worthy, all the things. And you never lose a narcissist, by the way. The narcissist always wants and needs someone who has empathy and compassion. You're never going to look like bad. This is what I have realized, because the fear is that, they're going to abandon us, they're going to reject us, blah, blah, blah. No, like you are so juicy for their life. Like they are a narcissist. So of course they would want to love to spend time with you. So just say no. And this creates
a lot of self-trust, and so much self-compassion. Being in your own energy is like 1,000 million times better than spending any 1 hour with someone who has narcissistic tendency, who sometimes like clearly doesn't even love you the way you love them. It's not even possible. And it's never going to be something that will fulfill you as a relationship, especially where you are in your life, especially for the things that you want to start creating, the shift that you must create now. The third thing is that not seeing people and not spending time with people, not being exposed to their energy, in, like even in a phone call, that are not good for this journey. So it's kind of a little bit repetitive, but I am telling you all of this for different situations so that you create that certainty, that I have to say no. The journey is all about saying no. The things that you will say yes to comes because your vibration becomes higher just as a result of the things that you're exposed to now. Like it's a whole different life. So it's very important that you don't spend time with people that are not good on your current journey. And you know these people like in a second. You know who they are. If there is any kind of hesitation, any kind of like ickiness or not really wanting with your body, like anything like that, any doubt, any hesitation, any kind of hurt from the past, don't spend time with them. Your most important resource in this journey is your energy. And your energy gets influenced, affected by people that are not good for your journey 1,000,000 times more than you imagine. Especially because these people that you hesitate to see or not, like if there is any kind of like even a little bit of hesitation, are the people that create an energy that is very familiar to you. So it doesn't have to even mean that you go on vacation with them or spend a whole day with them. Even spending sometimes an hour with someone that you know that are not in the same level with you. They don't even love you the way you love them. It's going to create like you're going to be more angry with yourself than you are with them, because you will be like, I exposed myself to BS again for what? Like nothing. You don't get any fulfillment. It's just a safety thing that you were doing before, but now you don't need to, because your light is your light. Like people will always be attracted to it. And the more you say no, by the way, they will be more attracted to it because you are living your life in a much different way. You are acting the kind of man or woman you get to become when you are like self-actualizing yourself. When you are truly in that journey, when you are happening and becoming, you already begin doing that today in order to create that life, because it's a natural thing for you to create that life. So you have to behave that way now. And that is allowed, that is a lot about not doing anything out of fear, because it's usually the deepest thing is that like, am I going to be abandoned? Am I going to be rejected? Am I going to lose that person? Are they going to think of this or that about me? Like, it's never the case. It's never the case. Because they usually add like, even if it's that, like, who cares? But my experience is like, that is never the case. The narcissist will want to spend time with you, even if it's whatever, like, because they know what they're doing. They know the difference of the energy of what they give and what you give. Like if you are someone with compassion, empathy, and high sensitivity, it's something that they want to spend time with like all the time, no matter what, because you're not doing anything to hurt them. You're just protective of your energy. And it's very, very, very important. And like a couple of things I want to say here. What kind of people are they? So you might start having new people in your life because you're taking massive action. You're creating different environments for yourself. Maybe you've moved to the other side of the world, like whatever it is. You start attracting people into your life, or the old friends that are keepers. They truly support your journey. You don't have to share details of your journey, but they know that, you're making a change, a big shift, although it's very uncomfortable. And you have to see, like, do they take your story of narcissism seriously and not ask you to accommodate it even in small ways? This is huge, huger than huge. If any of your, old friends that ask you to accommodate the narcissism, even in the smallest ways, and you know how it works because they tell you, oh, it's your whatever, it's your father, it's your mom, it's your sibling, it's your relative, it's your whatever, and they love you so much, this is all they know, blah, blah, blah. Like, if they play any of that game with you, like, done, game over, goodbye, I'll see you 5 years later, maybe. Like, you don't even have to spend time with them ever, because these have huge influence on your psyche. You don't even need to talk about this stuff. Just that familiar thing of playing small with them, that's enough for you to waste 3 days of your life, or even more. To come back to your energy, you have to be exposing yourself to greatness every single day. And this brings me to the fourth thing: to expose yourself to greatness and goodness nonstop every single day. So this will be your new life from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep. I was working like crazy, but I was also taking care of myself like crazy, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. Like, my life, I was devoted to myself. Like, it was a true devotion. True devotion to yourself, to self-love, is the purest form of love. Like, it is the highest form of love. So you have to devote yourself to yourself. And the kind of satisfaction, the fulfillment it gives you because of that self-compassion you have to yourself now, you're not like wasting your time watching Netflix. Like, you are not, I'm not saying don't do it ever, but you are so selective of what you expose yourself to. Like, I can, by the way, just to give you an example, just because I mentioned Netflix, like, in your downtime, if you want to watch something, you don't have to watch things that are always about like self-development or things like that. Like, you don't have to. I believe like at night, like after sunset, I was working a lot, but I just want to say, before you go to bed, if you want to watch something, you can watch things that are like funny and light, or a YouTube vlogger, like, a girl making her coffee and walking around, like something that will not, first of all, that is not like activating in a bad way, because Netflix is a game. Like, it's like every production is the same. Every production. Like, I can't watch a single series just because everything is about tragedy, like drama, tragedy, a lot of like fear-based, so deeply, deeply fear-based. The topic might be great, but the way they, what's the word? The way they create the I couldn't find the word, but the scenario, whatever, the plot, the story is like very destructive for your psyche. So it shouldn't be keeping you, like, your nervous system needs to feel safe from now on. So it should not be something that activates you into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever. It shouldn't be, and Netflix is all about this. I'm just giving you that as an example, but it's just a big game. Like, I can see it clearly. It's just to make people stupid, basically. Every production is the same. Even the cinematography is very similar. I wanted to be a cinematographer when I was like in my 20s or whatever, like before college. And I'm really into cinematography and film production. Every production is the same. And this is on purpose. So you should watch things maybe that are stupid or funny, or, just like something that will not create any kind of drama. This is very important. It was your past life. It was your life before. So, and just because I want to say the second thing, if you watch self-development stuff, like things that you learn from, all the time, even before you go to sleep, it might activate your brain a lot. So it should calm your brain down and not make you feel activated. Because I was like that's like how I am. I get super inspired and motivated, and like it gives me drive, so that, you know, it activates my brain, but I need my great sleep at night. So I just wanted to say that this is a great trick. And but other than that, before, like, once you open your eyes in the morning, I definitely suggest a morning ritual, even if it's like 10-15 minutes, moving your body a lot, increasing your energy, like using your energy, using your body, like all of that stuff for 100% sure, like 1000%. And this is the fifth thing. So use your energy right and increase your energy nonstop. And I would, whatever I was doing, I would never waste one single moment to nothing. If I was like taking a beach walk, that is great. Like, I need my downtime like that. I don't need to be listening to a podcast. But if I was driving, always I was listening to a book, a great book that I learned from about business, self-actualization, whatever. It was usually business or finances or money. And I would listen to podcasts like this, like nonstop, or like business related podcasts. I would be very intentional with my time. I still am. But the first, like, I would say 16 months of my journey is like pure this. Like, I was learning a lot. Like, my brain was always working onto something for my next level, nonstop. Even if it was something emotional, even if it's something that I am meeting someone for coffee or dinner or going out or whatever, it was always intentional for my next level. So I would only expose myself to greatness. This is very, very important. So I would be working, taking massive action, and staying out of my comfort zone. But this would all be possible because I would have exposed myself to new and great things, and that I would learn from and be inspired by amazing people. So how you use your time is going to be so different than before, and it's going to be so self-compassionate to yourself. So the sixth thing is that keep your promises to yourself. This is very important. If you promise yourself to work out every single day, move your body every single day, or I don't know, like 6 days a week, six days a week or something, keep that promise to yourself. If you want to do meditation in the mornings as a ritual, keep that promise to yourself like 90% of the time. So you start seeing and you start proving to your brain, like, this is what I promised myself, and this is actually what I practice, and this is something that I implement and apply in my life, so I can trust myself. I can do this. It creates a lot of, it creates not just a lot of self-confidence, but also a lot of believing in yourself. And who should believe in you? Only you. So it's very, very important that you keep your promises to yourself. If you want to take an action on something, reach out to someone, do it in that moment. Don't procrastinate. Just do something that will keep you accountable. Tony Robbins always says this, like, never leave this, I don't know how he says this, but never leave the sight of making a decision without like taking some kind of action on it, so that you are bound to continue following that up on. Because in the moment of making a decision, you are so hyped, your energy is so different, and the way the other person will perceive you is like super amazing. And that's the moment that you should take action, because it's going to be very different of how you talk, what you come up with, your energy and all of that. It's going to be visible from the other side, and that's going to create a lot of support that you can't even imagine. Maybe it's going to be very vulnerable, very true, and people want to help true people, like people who are in their truth. People want to help them and support them because they're inspired by them. So the seventh thing is that make decisions in your days about sharing, like we talked about, like sharing what you are up to, knowing that the path is not linear. So it can seem as if you made a decision, you've taken action. It looks like it's progressing, and it looks like, wow, like you're going to go to the next step of the thing. There is progress. Like we're going to go to the next thing of that, for that business, for that work, for that project, for that, I don't know, whatever. Even if you are in that moment, which creates a lot of excitement for you, it's something new, you want to share it with people that you love, don't share. This is my true, honest opinion that I have applied in my life, which created miracles for my life beyond my imagination. And these were the people that truly 100% supported me. But I'm going to give you an example of why you should not share. Of course, if it's people related to that work, of course you're gonna share with them. But maybe you will even share your story with them, so they're gonna be very inspired and they will be very motivated and driven to support you as well. But if it's someone from your past that 100% supports you, but maybe they're not even in that stage in their lives, maybe they're not even being that courageous. They have never experienced being that super courageous, like doing something that you're scared of, that has a lot of uncertainties, that there is a lot of risk. The result is not set, like it's not certain, and all of that. Because they've never experienced it, they wouldn't even know how to support you. So sometimes when you make a courageous decision, when you start creating that path, when you start taking massive action, you're walking towards it, the path is not linear, but it seems as if it's going to be sometimes. And once you share information about what you are doing, like what your decision was and what you're up to, just the fact that maybe you talk to them a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 days later, a month later, 2 months later, whatever it is, they will ask you, so how is that thing going? They will ask you something, maybe some detail about it, maybe something that it's related to. I am telling you, don't share, because they will just ask you the question. You're going to respond in a way, they're going to hang up. It's not going to even be on their mind, maybe, but it's going to really, it's going to truly mess you up because of your past. So for you to be in that certainty that you will get it done no matter what, like no matter what the obstacle is, no matter how the story looks, no matter like what's going on, no matter whatever, you have to create that certainty in your body. So this is my true opinion without any BS. I don't even need to explain you this in detail. Like, do not share your courageous decisions with people that are not even related to that thing. Don't share. You're going to get excited. You will want to share. You will maybe have a lot of progress. Maybe you've been working on it for months. Don't share. Just be patient about that, because it's going to give you the patience that you will need in your path. Like, it's going to give you massive things if you don't share. Don't share. Don't share. Just do it. Just do it every single day. Just do it every single day. Once it's done, once you have the results, they're going to applaud. You're not even be able to tell the story to them of like how much courage it took, how challenging it was, but you push through it, so you remember as this sweet memory, because you were only in your own energy. The only thing that you need is your own energy. And the thing that was stolen from you was that, with those subtitles. So please don't even share with your best friends. You can tell them, I made a big decision, I'm on to something, like depending on the person, if they're not going to be nosy, if they're going to respect you, and if their life is not like focused on your life, like what you're up to, if they truly have compassion for you, they're not even going to like try to ask you what's happening. They're going to be talking about their own life. They're going to hold space for you about what you want to share and all of that. You're going to have other things that you will talk about, but don't share what you're up to. Do not share, even when it feels like, oh, cozy and homey and familiar person. Don't share. Just do it. I can create episodes just based on this. All right. This is so important. And especially this is important in your first couple of years. Especially. And then it's going to be easy for you to decide what to share, who to share it with, like what to do. But the first times is like you're very vulnerable. Like you know the kind of difference that you create. So just go on with that energy. Go on with your own energy. You're going to wake up. You're going to feel that energy. You're going to create that for yourself if you're not exposed to any kind of like stupid BS. The 8th thing is that don't share. So this is what we just talked about. Don't share. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's like 9, 10 things actually. So the 9th thing is that keep moving and going every single day. Just keep taking action. Keep going every single day. You're going to feel that energy because you are in your energy. Like you've made a huge decision in your life to shift your life. You're going to feel that energy because of all the things that you're exposing yourself into. The thing that keeps you small is the one conversation that you have with a family member that you shouldn't have. You shouldn't even like go there. Like you shouldn't even give in like more than 5 minutes. That's the only thing that keeps you small. Only thing. So just keep on moving every single day. Keep taking action every single day. Keep taking massive action every single day. Keep doing things out of your comfort zone. Like keep doing the things that are very uncomfortable, very new for you every single day. You're going to start becoming a new person and the people around you will start seeing that. And especially like the new people in your life, like even the old people, but the new people are going to see you for who you truly are because you're going to be yourself now. And the 10th thing is the power of like rituals and the things that you do repetitively. And the things that I talked about, because it's about integration. The things that you will start learning. Repetition is the mother of all skills. And so integration and repetition and taking uncomfortable action and the power of rituals and the things that you do constantly every single day start creating like some massive shift in your life because you are exposing yourself to like listening to amazing things that you're inspired by, and it just keeps you pushing forward. You start acting so differently. And because it's repetitive, the things that you do, it creates massive shift for you. Massive shift. So this is it. I love you so much. See you next week. Let me know if you have any questions on my Instagram at Kevela. It's in the show notes, my Instagram handle. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to dive deeper into anything that we talked about here or anything else, if you want any kind of support on what you need to do in your specific situation, in a specific area maybe, let me know. I love you. I'll see you next week. I will see you shine your brightest. My gorgeous listener, if you had any takeaways from this episode or from this podcast in general, I would love to know. Please share this episode with a few loved ones right now. You never know how they can benefit from something so small. And please take a screenshot of this episode and share on IG, tagging me at Kevela. That is KHEWELLA. Kevela. That is my goddess wear brand, my Instagram page. I would love to know what your takeaway was or something you found inspirational or a confirmation you believe in as well. That would make my day. And you can always DM me if you have a topic or a certain question in mind that you want me to talk about. And give me a 5-star rating if you feel like it. That would help this podcast immensely to get the word out. I love you. See you on the next one. I want to see you shine your brightest.